stretch. Parag, did you stretch out?
I did.
All right, good. Hey, Damon, we're live. Happy Monday, man. How are you?
All right, Kurt, I'm ready to go. Let's get this thing started.
Let's get this party started. So hope you had an amazing, incredible, wonderful, phenomenal, relaxing weekend because we've got a heavy hitter today, Damon. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Should we stretch out first?
Let's go. Get this thing going because we're talking about.
So
I got my stretches in over the weekend. It was my birthday. So
there you go.
It was your birthday, Parag.
Nice.
Dude, how old?
My wife says I'm halfway to 90.
You're halfway to 90. Damon, I think the shirt is like the same age as Parag. I'm not sure, but anyway, let's dive in. So, hey, we've got Parag, the founder, CEO extraordinaire of a wonderful, amazing, and cutting-edge company called Webgility. Parag, how are you, my friend? Happy Monday. What's going on, man?
Thank you so much. It's exciting to be here. Really appreciate this opportunity. It's been a wonderful weekend celebrating with some friends and family. So
Nice.
I'm happy to kick off the week, starting live chatting about e-commerce. And thank you for having me on the show.
Well, Damon and I, we were going to sing happy birthday too. That was our plan, but just
no, we could skip that.
We did. Now, for the record, Damon does. He's a baritone. He does have a beautiful, right, Damon? Don't you like?
Not even.
Not even. Okay, that was somebody else I was thinking of.
Yeah,
okay,
somebody else.
Probably a different podcast.
That was all right. That was last week's. That was Damon has like this opera thing. He's like the secret opera guy. That's his side hustle, right, Damon? So
nice.
All right, let's dive in. So
man.
Parag, e-commerce, longtime e-commerce guy, Amazon alumni, founded your own company, I believe 2007. But Parag, before we go there, I have a little question that, as a matter of fact, somebody sent this in for us. Parag, where did you grow up? Where did you grow up?
Oh boy. I actually was born in India, but I spent a little part of my childhood in South America.
Nice.
Wow.
South America.
What part?
Yeah, I was in British Guyana.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So let's go here, Parag. When you were a little guy growing up, who was your hero? Who did you look up to? Who did you admire? Who just showered Parag with unconditional love? Who was your hero?
It was always my dad. It's always my dad. He was he's the one who's been inspiring me along the journey. And he in fact, that's how we ended up in South America. My dad was a banker, and he was the first in the family to get a double master's degree. So education was really important to him. And he was the first in the family. It's 1986. He got an opportunity to leave India for the first time and go to South America. So, he really brought us that exposure, and just, you always want to do more. And a definitely important part of my entrepreneurial journey.
Well, what a hero. And Dad's name, please.
Yes, his name is Kanhaya.
Kanhaya. Well, hey, big shout out to Dad. 1 and 2 master's degree. Goes to South America, South Africa, right? Is that what you said?
South America.
South America. Got it. South America. And so what a great now, okay, let's jump ahead. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you are a Sun Devil. Did I see that correctly?
That's right.
So
Arizona State.
So take us on the tour. How did you end up at Arizona State?
Yeah. So we were actually in South America, and that got sort of the itch started where I have 2 elder brothers, and they both decided to get their higher education in America. Mm-hmm. I was the youngest one. My parents wanted to kind of take me back to India and baby me, and did that. Moved back to India for high school, but then as I finished up my high school education there, there was just an attraction to come to America, and one of my brothers actually established home based in Arizona. And that's how, it was like, okay, do you want to come study here and live close to me? And so, the rest, as they say, is history. But that's how I got into ASU, and excited to say that my niece actually just started ASU this past weekend. So
wonderful.
The tradition continues. Go Devils.
Well, go Devils. All right. How exciting is that? My mother-in-law just left, and she lives right near Arizona State. So, hey, we've got a big hello here from Siraj. So happy Monday to you guys. Drop us a note. Let us know you're out there. Let us say hi to Damon, say hi to Praj, connect with Praj on LinkedIn. You'll thank us later. He's just a e-commerce powerhouse. Wonderful. You have a little SaaS thing that we're going to dive into. So, Praj, take us through the journey. You leave Arizona State, you dive into e-commerce, Amazon alumni, and then looks like you kicked off your entrepreneurial journey 2007. Fill in that gap for us. Lead us up to Webgility.
Yeah. So I went to Arizona State and I graduated in the .com bust. So entrepreneurship was kind of forced upon me. There was not really a whole lot of jobs out there.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of really figure out what to do. And while I was in college, I was, dabbling in building websites. And so during the summers, I'd kind of wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, start cold calling businesses to sell them e-commerce websites. And, then during the day, build a website and manage the hosting and provide support. And yeah, so that's kind of how I got my entrepreneurial wheels, and haven't looked back since. Definitely enjoyed the ride building e-commerce software and sites for thousands now of small businesses. And then got an opportunity, wanted to get some experience working in a large company and at scale, and I could see e-commerce was going to be this tremendous opportunity. So 2007, actually, I joined Amazon and did a stint there for a couple of years, managing a platform they're called Web Store, which was Amazon's foray into building e-commerce sites for small businesses. And so,
wow.
Was able to learn a ton there, work with lots of large merchants, built a developer ecosystem around the product. And, I could see kind of clearly that there was a big gap in the market. Businesses were going to be moving to online stores and marketplaces, but they didn't quite know beyond kind of getting up and running and selling to how to automate kind of their operations. Like how are they going to do their fulfillment? How are they going to do their accounting? What about sales tax? What about inventory? What about purchasing? So there's just all these parts of the business that were undefined, and I could see a big pain. And that's what kind of got me started with Webgility, just seeing it firsthand with both small businesses and then looking at it at scale while at Amazon.
Now, so it looked like you started Webgility and overlapped with Amazon at your time at Amazon. Was it?
I had the idea before I started, and I was kind of dabbling in it. I had some engineers start to build the application out to just kind of see how it would perform.
Mm-hmm.
And I was moonlighting like most entrepreneurs. You kind of don't give up your it's
Day
sort of
job.
a side hustle, and you don't give up your day job. And so I did that for a few years, but then things just started to take off, and I kind of had a choice. I needed to kind of keep moving up the ladder at Amazon, or jump ship and really kind of build my own business. And that's as you can tell, which path I chose.
Yeah. And it looks like you jumped like right in the heart of the economic, kind of fall down collapse, 2009-ish, if you will. Do we have that correct?
I'm a sucker for punishment. Yeah, I started my first during the .com bust, and I started my second at the height of the financial crisis. So it was really hard. But one of the things that's really crazy, I believe, this economy runs on small businesses, and small businesses are so incredibly resilient. They're just so creative. They find ways to survive. And as long as you're delivering value, you can survive in any market. And so, that was the mantra then, and still the mantra now. And we continue to poke away at, deliver good value.
God bless you, man. Very inspiring. Just share, if you could, for anybody out there to, maybe they're sitting on the sidelines, or they have a side hustle, or they're like, man, I would love to start my own entrepreneurial journey. If we could take you back in time 15 years ago, 2009, was there an aha moment? Was there a pivotal point where you're like, I'm leaving Amazon? That took a lot of courage to leave Amazon and you start your own thing. Do you remember what that mindset? Scary, exciting? What was going on there?
Yeah. I mean, it's all of the above, right? It's there's usually not there's not going to be a big sign that says go jump in and get started, right? There's not going to be someone that is able to kick your ass enough to just tell you go do it. You got to come to it yourself, and you got to look at everything and just get going. It's funny. I actually had a conversation with a buddy of mine over the weekend. They were visiting for my birthday, and he was telling me about all these things he wants to do, and he has this business idea, and it's going to be, but he's just like, he needs to put together a deck, and he needs to think about funding, and he's thinking about how he's going to go big. And I'm going to tell you what I told him. You just got to get started.
You got to get off the sidelines
Yep.
and you got to get on the field, man. Right?
Yeah.
You just
It's
got
got
to get started.
Got to throw tackle, throw a couple blocks, get dirty, get knocked down. Right?
Yeah, and if you think you'll have it figured out at day one, no.
You know, that the old adage is, you know, the best battle plans don't survive the first shot or something like that. You know, it's
That's
just
right.
something like that, because
Everybody's got a plan until they get punched.
Yep. And you will get punched day one in business. So yeah, you just got to get started. That's great advice.
I love it. Hey, Damon, we got another comment here from Marcella coming live from Atlanta. So happy Monday. Says hello. So happy Monday to you. Again, guys, thank you for joining us. Drop a note in the chat box. Let us know you're out there. Connect with Parag. Connect with Damon. Connect with myself on LinkedIn. Love to hear what's going on in your world. So Parag, let's dive into Webgility.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Who is Webgility? How do you and your amazing team make the world a better place?
Yeah, no, of course, I love talking about Webgility. I've been doing this now for too long. Webgility is, again, the idea came about it from working with all these small businesses. I could kind of see e-commerce was going to be the future, and not only selling on one channel, but we're going to have this omni-channel world.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't quite foresee how many SaaS applications would be out there and how many different systems customers would have to use just to make their business run. But at the core of the problem is that it's now, especially in 2024, it's so easy to get started selling online, right? Like you can spin up a store, launch some products on Amazon pretty easily. But the big question really is, how do you make money doing it? Right? How do you actually make money?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think to make money, you certainly need all the things around brand and creativity, and you got to have a great product. You got to provide great service. But ultimately, there's such razor thin margins. You cannot be doing things manually. And as an entrepreneur, your time is your primary kind of lever, right? So you got to figure out where you're going to spend your time. So you do not want to be spending your time doing all the mundane stuff. You don't want to be managing your bookkeeping. You don't have to worry about your financials being right. You don't want to track kind of your inventory. Like things should just be automated, right? And by the way, those are the differentiators. That's why the big guys are winning, because they've got all of those basics down. They can think about new scaling strategies, and they don't have to worry about any of the basics. So I saw sort of the gap in the market that businesses would need to sell on multiple channels. They would need automation. And so I kind of wrote on my whiteboard were 3 key letters. I said there's going to be integration. We're going to need to integrate things because too many systems and apps. We're going to need automation. And then ultimately, businesses are going to need a lot of insights because it's just going to be too much data, and it's going to be hard to see what's happening. And so Webgility has been, developed with those 3 key pillars, and our focus is on helping small to medium-sized businesses that sell online figure out how to automate and make more money. And we do that by, connecting all their systems. We help them automate all their day-to-day inventory automation. We streamline their daily bookkeeping, help them close their books at the end of every month so that they know their financial systems and financial reports are accurate. And ultimately, they know what their profitability is so that they can start to increase their margins.
Yeah, that's so key. The 3 things you hit, the integration, automation, and insight are so important, because most people, when they walk in, like you said, you can spin up a Shopify or other kind of big commerce kind of store literally on a weekend if you really wanted to do it, right? And throw some products on, or get on Amazon in a very short amount of time and start doing that. But you soon realize that if you have orders and customers and shipments and all this kind of stuff, there's a lot of data that has to move between a platform and you for like shipments and orders and all that kind of stuff. And then between your financial systems and just keeping everything updated becomes a huge load as you scale.
Yeah, and it's a bit of the wild, wild west because you have all of these channels kind of formatting data the way that they like.
Yep.
They also have their own set of rules in terms of how they do payment processing.
Yep.
They even have their own rules as to when they pay you,
Yes, they do.
right? So you've got to really find a system that can keep it all together and bring it into one place. And typically, we see for most small to medium sized businesses, maybe I wouldn't call Excel a system of record, but the only system of record they truly have is their financial system, right? QuickBooks is at the heart of most small businesses. That's the system you don't mess around with QuickBooks. It's all clean. It has to be clean data, has
Yeah.
to know exactly how much money came in, how much money went
Mhm.
out.
Mhm.
And that's kind of the only system that truly can tell you the heart of what's happening in your business. And so um we have customers all the way from startups that just getting started on a single channel, all the way up to companies that have 30 channels. They're selling internationally with multiple currencies, and tens of thousands of products in their catalog, hundreds of thousands of orders, 50 million plus in GMV annually. And they all kind of can use our system to just get their data flowing every day and get their books closed easily, their inventories updated, their pricing isn't always up to date throughout their different channels, and ultimately they know exactly how much money they're making.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, I love it. So, all right, Prague, let's go here. How about the letters AI? If I say the
Huh.
letters AI, does that mean anything to you in your world? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it used to be all about intelligence, and now it's gotten a bit artificial. But yeah, AI has been really, it's been the talk of town. It's what's captured the imagination of the entire world, frankly, since the launch of ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm no stranger. I've been obviously in technology for now a couple of decades, but when ChatGPT came out, I think everybody was kind of thinking, how do I use this, and is it really going to be beneficial? What's going to change? And obviously, there's a lot of conversation about how it's going to just kill so many jobs, and it's going to, I don't know, we're going to have two-person billion-dollar companies, and there's a lot of hype. The reality is there's definitely some value in the app, in the technology, and thinking about our customers and really small businesses, what can AI do for them, right? And beyond kind of a search bot, right? It A lot of people are kind of just leveraging the technology as just a replacement for Google search, like answer my questions, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the reality is there's a lot of power in the technology. And so I've been kind of diving in to really think about how can businesses leverage this technology? How can we really make it meaningful? And I go back to those three pillars, like how can we really help those
Mhm.
businesses? And ultimately, it's about kind of what actions can it take? Can it truly be my assistant? And what real insight can I get using this technology? So I'm really excited. Earlier this month, we launched our Webgility AI assistant, and we've developed it with kind of a few key things in mind. First and foremost, it's that businesses have questions about their data. So first and foremost, it needs to be able to answer questions about what's going on in their e-commerce business. Who
Mhm.
are their top customers? You know, how much revenue did they make this month? Which products are out of stock? Like basic questions about their e-commerce business. And number two, it's what actions can it take for me, right? Like, and so our AI assistant, you can go on and just type in, hey, post all my orders to QuickBooks, and it'll do that, right? And so it can take actions for you. And it's early days. There's definitely more to build here, but you know, the third thing is, what can this AI assistant tell me about the future? What can it predict for me?
Mm.
And so going forward, we're building more technology to really help businesses figure out, what's going to happen in the future, and how can it kind of transform the way you behave, and how can it inform you about what's coming down the pipe. So it's early days. We've just launched our AI assistant in beta. It's free to all of our customers, and we're seeing it live, as our customers ask it questions. How do they interact with it? And we're learning from it. But, as I see our team sort of spending time and building more capabilities, it's really all about, getting more and more automations to happen through your assistant, and then for AI to really kind of give you some predictions about what's happening in the future, which is really hard, by the way, right? AI relies on such volume of data. Like most small businesses don't have enough data to actually train a model,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so we're now finding creative ways to really get value from that technology, even for businesses that don't have that much data.
Well,
So early innings, yeah.
love it. So Sebastian says AI delivers valuable services that enhance the e-commerce industry. Sebastian, thank you for your comment. And again, I strongly encourage you guys. I'll connect with Parag here. He, as you can tell, just AI expert, e-commerce expert. Damon, I almost did like a little EIEIO right there. Did you notice that? Catch that at all? I got a little. All right, so let's go here. So combination things. I just want to recap, and then what I'd like to do is I want, if you don't mind, you didn't know I was going to do this. I'd like to pull up your website and just kind of give everybody an idea of like what is the power of Webgility, what are some of the solutions that you're solving, how you're making the world a better place for small business owners. Damon, I know you're just like salivating over this conversation. What I love, number one, if I caught this correctly, Parag, and this is like a great insight, I'm using insight. Great three. This is your North Star, if I'm getting this correct. Yeah. Integration, automation, and insights. So through the longevity of your company, 15 years, that's really been kind of your benchmark. And so every solution that you're delivering for your small businesses kind of hit that 3-point criteria. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's the value we deliver. We got to make sure that we can automate your business and give you insights you didn't get previously. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's so critical because the things that you're doing, there's so many nuances that happen in an e-commerce business, especially if you got a high SKU count, high number of transactions going on, that you mentioned it a while ago. AI can see things that we can't see as humans. And it's going to be very interesting how Webgility and others are really using AI to provide those insights that we just aren't going to see without it.
Yeah. And with that point, Damon, what I absolutely love is like, how do you have that trusted resource? Kind of like Parag, what I'm picturing, it's kind of like you're the trusted guide over my shoulder saying, hey, I see a couple blind spots, or did you happen to notice this? Or, yeah, I just want to make sure that you saw this gap here. And so that's the wonder with your, your solution as you're describing it. Let's take us on a little tour of your website. So if somebody is like, man, you're really piquing my curiosity. You had me at hello, Parag. What are some things that they would want to explore or dive into as they're taking these first steps with the relationship with Webgility?
Yeah. Listen, if you enjoy talking to people, we have live humans, not AI, on our website. So you can, just pull up live help and talk to one of our e-commerce advisors. It's the best way to get started. If you are the kind of person that likes to just dabble in things directly, jump in yourself, we have a free trial. So you could just get started, connect your e-commerce channel, your QuickBooks. We also have a demo. So you can schedule time with one of our e-commerce advisors who walk you through the entire solution. There's also pre-recorded guided tour. So, you choose your own journey through the website to see where, however you're comfortable. But, in terms of the capabilities we provide right off the bat, it's for omni-channel businesses. We work with all the major platforms: Amazon, eBay, Shopify, BigCommerce, Magento, WooCommerce, Walmart. We integrate all of them. And we work with both online and brick and mortar. So we connect to e-commerce channels and point of sale software. So even Clover, Lightspeed, Square, we connect to. We've been approved by accountants. We're partners with Intuit, and Intuit's actively promoting Webgility products. For those that are in, say, the manufacturing space, we also work very closely with QuickBooks Enterprise. We've got some great brands like Flaunt and Rareform using our solution. And really all you got to do is kind of connect your website, your e-commerce channel to Webgility, connect to your QuickBooks, follow kind of some of the wizards or work with our e-commerce advisors to get you set up. In terms of all the automation, we pretty much on a daily basis can bring in every single one of your transactions from your e-commerce channels, get it automatically recorded into QuickBooks. You can also, if you're an Amazon seller, you just like to get data every 2 weeks with a settlement report, we can just put in a summary. We can grab the summary report at the end of every settlement period, and we bring that into your system. Obviously, we've got great service. All of our software solution includes unlimited support. We also provide free white glove onboarding. You can check out some of our customer reviews and definitely learn more about the product.
Yeah, I love some of these comments here. I mean, it's wonderful to see what you're doing, just making people's lives easier. And I think you hit it on the head earlier, Parag, with like that AI. There's just so many myths that I love that you're kind of dispelling. I had a buddy come over to my house, recently, and he was from out of town. He was like, "Man, I'm talking with his coworker," and he was like, describing everything about AI, and it got me so depressed. And he was just going on and overwhelmed and intimidated about what AI is doing. And I'm like, dude, don't talk to that guy anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know, Prague.
Yeah.
I mean, what, like it just look at how it's just such a game changer. I know, Damon, we're using it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Prague, I don't want to put you on a spot, but you have all these wonderful testimonials, and they're loaded all over your site. Do you have any particular wonderful case studies, success stories that you want to share? Mind blowing of like, man, this company saved X.
Oh yeah. I mean, one of the cases, one of the customers I always talk about is Dan from Bases Loaded. We've worked together now over 10 years.
Wow.
And Dan's started off with a kind of a sporting goods baseball focused store. Yeah, there he is, Dan Wells.
Right there.
And he had a sporting goods store close to Sacramento, and they wanted to sell online. And it was like, okay, well, I've got this brick and mortar business. How do I actually get my products online? And how do I make sure everything is working correctly so that I can actually be successful selling online? Fast forward now a decade, it went from no online store to 15 different channels they sell on.
Wow.
They've added multiple warehouses. They were one of the Inc. 5,000 fastest growing companies many years in a row. And they're utilizing Webgility and its capabilities to such an extent in their community. There's now multiple sporting goods sellers that he's actually supporting indirectly. He's actually coaching them on how to use the application, and he's actually, managing multiple channels for them. So just incredible story. And, on average, 10 hours a week. You save 10 hours a week with Webgility.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not a young guy anymore. I didn't hear you. What did you say?
10 hours a week.
See, yeah, though it was your birthday, you haven't caught up to me yet, so I know you can hear it perfectly fine. So 10 hours per week that you save by working with Webgility. Absolutely love it. Let's dive in here. Let's go. How about any other, if our folks, if they're considering e-commerce, do you work with a lot of companies that are new? Do they need to be more seasoned e-commerce? Walk us through, like, what level do they need to be to really reach out to you?
Yeah, you can certainly get started, and there are some early stage companies that we work with. But typically, what happens is when you're just getting started, you don't have order volume. You're just trying to experiment with your channels and see what's going to work, what's not going to work. And so you're definitely spending a lot more time directly on the channel. So you're either launching your products on Amazon, or you're loading up a new website. So we can certainly help in some of that automation, but there's very limited data when you just get started.
Mm-hmm.
So typically we work with merchants that are in the $500,000 to $1 million of GMV per year, and we scale up from there. And we have customers that do as much as 50, 60 million. But our sweet spot's about the 1 to 25 million in GMV. That's when it's incredibly painful to scale.
Yeah.
You have to get your data right. You have to know where all your inventory is, what the price levels are. And you need to also have really good financial reporting, right? So that you'll be surprised how many people think that the Amazon deposit they get is the amount of revenue they made.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right. So they're not even looking at their top line correctly and really figuring out all
Yeah.
the expenses and fees and their misreporting. So there's just a lot of things that you got to kind of get familiar with early on. And yeah, thinking about data, thinking about automation and systems early is definitely key.
Well,
Yes.
I love it. Damon, our dear friend,
Hey,
my friend
Glamis.
Glamis is here today. She's
How
with
you
the
doing?
Small Business
Awesome.
Development Center at Columbia University. Glamis,
Yep.
happy Monday to you, my friend. Hope you're having a marvelous summer. Guys, I know we just crossed the top of the hour. If you just joined us, boy, encourage you, man, hit that rewind button on the replay. But we're here with Parag, the founder, CEO of Webgility. Parag, I know you're super busy saving people all sorts of money. What takeaways do you want to share?
I just, we back up just a moment here to this 10 hours per week, because the saving the 10 hours per week is really important, because those 10 hours are probably spent just moving data with spreadsheets or Google Sheets, right? That's all you're doing usually, because you're moving data from the platform to you, to QuickBooks, in and out. You're using all these applications that'll help you do that. But that's what you're doing. You're moving data. So when you've got someone or yourself that is spending 10 hours a week doing that, they are putting zero time into what you say are one of your pillars in the company is insight, which you take that 10 hours and put that into gaining more insight on your business, and it is multitudes more benefit to your business, because now I can say, okay, what are my best selling products? Am I making money on all my products? Do I have a return problem on any products? Is my customer service level the way it should be? Or my financial stuff? There's just so many other things you can do with that 10 hours, rather than simply going, okay, I've got to download this and upload it there, and I've got to download this and check it, and all the verification you got to do. It's like, bleh. You take that out.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I mean, again, most entrepreneurs, I think, start off with, just focus on getting started making revenue, and profitability is an afterthought. I think they need to really start from, how do I make money? How do I make profits? And you'll find, your time's best spent on the highest leverage tasks, right? Think about your business strategy, think about your customers, and really spend time analyzing the data instead of really mucking with it in spreadsheets.
Yeah, and just unlock your growth potential. That's my favorite line right there. So this is phenomenal. So again, go to webgility.com. You can check out all the awesomeness, all the solutions, connect with Parag and his incredible team, just dedicated to helping entrepreneurs. And I'd even say, for those early bird entrepreneurs, man, it's never too late to get started, because once you start getting these systems and processes in place, now you've got to back out, so start young, start early as you are getting into your e-commerce journey. At least reach out to Parag and ask, right? It doesn't hurt to ask. We're taking a look here. These are a lot of things on the menu that Parag just discussed. And so, Parag, as we start winding things down, is there anything else that you want to share before we wrap up for today?
No, for all those inspiring entrepreneurs, just get started. It's easy now. It's easier now than ever to launch an e-commerce business, and really capitalize on your strengths, your creativity, and launch your e-commerce business. And if you're already out there selling online, continue to find new channels for growth and invest in automation.
Awesome. All right, Parag, let's we'll start wrapping up. Last question for you of the day, my friend. As an entrepreneur, you survived the dot-com bubble. You came through and started your business during the financial crisis, and you have just absolutely thrived for 15 years. What has been the best for all of your success? What is the best business advice that you feel that you ever received, and or that you'd want to pass on to a young entrepreneur just starting out?
Don't give up.
Bam. Drop the mic, man.
That's awesome.
Give up. That was all right. Parag, that might be one of the best answers we've ever had to that question. That was it. Just don't give up.
Yeah, it's that grit, that resilience is what define entrepreneurs. Everybody kind of talks about all the fun stories of, I've created this $10 million, $20 million business, but it's never a straight line. And you're always gonna fail, you're always gonna have issues, it's gonna be challenging. You just gotta fight through. Don't give up.
Don't give up. Absolutely love it. Damon, takeaways from the conversation today for you.
No, I think these applications like Webgility here, Parag's got ways to really save you time in your e-commerce business. And when you save that time, then you can use it to get smarter about your business and actually make more money from that. You make better decisions.
And even smaller companies, just, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars. And like you're saying, Damon, I know, like we've talked about it a lot, like, passing that information back and forth. Just now, instead of passing that information, now, even if you just spent that time maybe analyzing that information, or at least look in the reports that you're getting back from Webgility on how to make better decisions. So, hey, we've got one more comment here from, right? How do you say that, Damon?
Rafe. Yep.
So, hi from New York. Caught the last bit. I look forward to the replay. Rafe, thank you for joining us today. I agree with you 100%. Anybody out there that missed it, go back, hit that replay button. Parag just did it. It was a masterclass on combining e-commerce, efficiency, and AI. And so again, as we close out, connect with Parag on LinkedIn. Go to Webgility. If you have any questions, get a free demo, if nothing else, right? So, Parag, we want to thank you, dude. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me.
How about a big round of applause for Parag for just, delivering
Thank you. I appreciate it.
For us. So, Parag, we wish you continued success. Keep us in a loop on anything that's going on in your world, and we welcome you back. And so, guys, have a great, amazing, incredible rest of your week. And Damon, we've got another great guest coming up on Friday. So
we do, Kurt. We'll be back again on Friday.
Awesome.
Yeah, congrats on a great show, guys.
God bless. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Thanks.
Have a great day.